Hi everyone, welcome to Building Red House Farm. I'm Ken.
Jen.
In today's episode, we're going to talk to you about what we considered when buying a horse property. Now, first off, we recognize that budget is important to everybody, but we looked at 5 criteria besides that. So the criteria we're going to talk about today, we're going to look at drainage, space, layout, access, and usability.
So the first one, drainage. I was an absolute stickler on this one. Nobody likes to be wandering around in mud all day when they're trying to work with their horses. So we have all had experiences. I remember times where a spring lake was forming between my horse and the gate, and thinking about having to swim through this lake with my horse, and then trying to decide if I could ride my horse across the lake, and then realizing I had nothing to get onto my horse with, and it's just like a mess. It's not fun. By the time you get to the barn, your horse is grouchy, you're grouchy, nobody wants to ride, and then you have to turn your horse back out into the lake. So we did not want a lot of mud laying around, so drainage was huge. We did a lot of drive-bys to sort of assess drainage. From pictures, it's really hard to tell the elevation of the ground, so if you really want to get a good layout of the ground, go and drive by. When you're serious at looking at a place, actually go and walk the actual ground. So when we bought our place, we actually brought our snowshoes when we came out to look at it. It was winter time, and we went and actually snowshoed around the property to get a feel of what the drainage layout was of the actual land. So before you look at any structures, house, fences, barns, erase all that, just look at the land and see if that's going to meet your need.
That Spring Lake story sounds horrible, Jen.
It was really bad.
So the second criteria we looked at was space. Now, beyond the obvious of making sure that we have enough land for the number of horses we wanted to eventually have, we had to look at a couple different things. So a lot of different municipalities will have different bylaws concerning space for livestock or use of land. So it's really important you take a little bit of time to research that. We also kind of ruled out any property that had too many trees that we might needed to clear. We ruled out those properties with sloughs, just trying to eliminate space that was unusable for horses that we would probably end up paying extra for and we didn't really need. But one thing we did consider with that stuff was just the aesthetic value of it. So did those trees or that slough really add to it? So number 3 on our list was access. So we wanted to make sure that our vehicles, but big trucks could also get onto our property. And then we thought about it in terms of a commute too, right? So we're looking at making sure we're not too far from the city for our own jobs, but also not too far for customers that might want to commute to and from the property to see their horse. We looked at things like paved roads versus dirt roads. All this we kind of mapped out on Google to just kind of give us a better understanding of the bigger picture. Then our next criteria was layout, and this was Jen's favorite. She got to take our top contending properties and dream her dream barn facility. So we took maps of the properties, sketched out where we might lay a barn, where we might put some paddocks, just to get an idea of how the property might flow. And finally, the last criteria we looked at was usability, which is just to mean we looked at the existing infrastructure on the land. Whether it had a barn already, paddocks maybe, or whether it was just bare land. So in the end, and I think Jen and I both agree that we made a good decision in the end, we didn't go with the bare bones property. We actually ended up settling on a piece of land that was nearly close to bare bones, but had a house. And I think neither of us could really imagine trying to build a house and a farm at the same time. It was definitely a saving grace in that first year to be able to go outside, do our work, and at the end of the day, you just had to walk up the hill to the house, and you were done.
Yeah. Originally, we were kind of keen to just have a totally blank slate and make it exactly what we wanted. But yeah, really good and a little bit more affordable actually, I think, maybe in the long run.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our journey as we are building Red House Farm.